Hello, how are you, my avid readers? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today in New Jersey, it's chilly outside, but the sun is shining, so it's okay. It's a good day to read. It's always a good day to read. Rain, snow, shine, sunshine, happy, sad. It's always a good day to read a book. All right, today I would like to share with you some information and some books that I read over the summer. And I just started reading some over the fall, started reading some this fall as well. Now, once a month, we have a book that we read and we choose and we discuss. Okay, now I would love, before the next 2 months, we have November and we have December. I would love for you guys to definitely join in with the reading so that we can have a nice active discussion at the end of each month. And definitely, if you have a favorite book, author that you want to read, well, share in the group. I would love to find out what you really like. It shouldn't just be my pick. I want to know, what is your pick? So November, December, I want to see you in the group being active. All right. So now, about the books that I read. First book, Children of Virtue and Vengeance. Now, we read Children of Blood and Bone, Tomi Adeyemi's book, the first installment, and I read this one. So the first installment was Zele and her wanting magic to come back to her people, right? So she's fighting for magic. So this book is about the fight for Orisha now, because the king is dead. So now we have to find out who is going to rule the kingdom. Will it be Zelet? Will it be Amari? Will it be Enoch? Who will it be? Or would it be the actual queen who is not dead? And we thought she was dead, right? So this was definitely a page turner. I implore you to read it. And first read the first one. That way you get a hands-on backstory of the characters. And she just, enhances the characters and you get to know more about them, their story, each one of them, the main characters. So that would be good. So definitely, this is a good book to get. You can get it at your local library, even though I know some libraries are closed, but I know some libraries have started to open. You can rent them, or you can just buy it if you want it. And you can have the actual book. There's Audible. There's all different kinds of ways that you can read. So no excuses. Let's get reading. All right. So this is a thumbs up for me. Thumbs up. Next, we have a book that I saw the author on Trevor's Noah, the Daily News. And I was intrigued by the author and how he was describing his book. But guess what? Didn't like it. Didn't like the book. It took me a long, see how this book is? It's so short, right? I can read this like that. But because the content, as far as what I like, I kept doing this and picking it up and doing this and picking it up. But I said, you know what? Finish the book and get through it and it'll be okay. Okay? So Riot Baby, it really didn't do what I thought it was going to do. It was supposed to be a science fiction fantasy type of read, but to me it was a mishmash of science fiction and real life events that have happened in the US with riots and upheaval, with racism, different things of that nature. But it didn't really grab me. So I don't know if I would buy another book by this author. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure if I would do it. It really depends. I would maybe have to read a little bit into it, maybe see if they have it at the local library before I would actually spend, just because I didn't care for this one. So sometimes I'm kind of leery of the next book that you might write. But, there's authors for everyone. This one wasn't my cup of tea, but it may be yours. So the book was Riot Baby. Okay, so if you think you may be interested in this particular author, or if you know if he's written something else, and you can let me know. Okay, put it in the comments. We have another book that I read by one of our former presidents, Bill Clinton, and noted author James Patterson. The President is Missing. And just the title, The President is Missing, was very intriguing because, of course, if any president is missing, the world would be turned upside down. But that's really not what it was about. He was keeping himself safe because there was something going on. There was an attack on the US in the book via the computer. And I'm sitting there reading the stories, and I'm going, did this really happen? Because it was so believable. It was so believable about different people against the president having private meetings, trying to impeach the president and all kinds of things. Because it's interesting because that's something that happened during his presidency for something different, but some things happened to him. So it was very interesting. It was a page turner. If you know me, you know I love James Patterson and his work, his writing, and he does a lot of partnership with other people. And what I like, because this president was the first president who wrote a nonfiction with another author. Usually we know the presidents, they write memoirs, they talk about their life in the White House, but never this. This was good. This was a good look. So I enjoyed it. And I implore you to get this book too. It was definitely a page turner. If you're a person who goes, well, I don't have time, it's so long, but the chapters go like this. And because of the content, that's what kept me. That some nights I went to bed late because I wanted to know what happened next. What happened next? What's going on? I didn't want to go to sleep. So that's when you can tell it's a good story for me if I can't put it down, because I want to know what happened next. So definitely I enjoyed this book. All right, so I have one more. A novel by D.E. Rogers, Black States of America. Now, I put this in the category of the Riot Baby book. So it was supposed to be a fantasy of an altered universe where Black people are in power of everything. They are in control, they are running things, but it just didn't hit till the end. When it got juicy at the end, when it was what's going to happen with are the universes going to collide, what's going on, who's going to marry who's going to rule, are the universes going to come together or not? But it took until the end. I had to keep reading until I get to this part amount of the book. Then it heats up. Like, no. So there was a time where I had to put the book down, and I looked at the book. I said, well, are you going to finish it? Yes, I'm going to finish it. So I finished the book. Didn't like it all the way. But like I said, it got juicy. And it started to heat up towards the end. And he was so smart because he left a cliffhanger. So now I want to know what's going to happen next. So now if he didn't think about writing another book, he needs to write another book because he left a cliffhanger. So now you got to think about it. I didn't care for the book in the beginning. I told you I put the book down. But by the end, it got juicy. So now I want to know, okay, part two. I need a part two now. So D.E. Rogers, I need a part two to find out what's going on. So he was a new author that I found. And first time reading him. So didn't know anything about him. But like I said, the story was a little flat until the end. But now that I got to the end, I reached there, he needs to write another book because he left a cliffhanger. So I need to know. So those are some of the books that I read over the summer outside of what our normal reading was. So hopefully I'll see you in November and in December, active in the discussions of our books, because in November, what's going to happen is we're going to do a redo of this book, Born into Freedom, the Lucas family and American saga. We're going to reread this book because guess what? The author is coming into the group. We're going to have a discussion. We're going to have a Zoom call with this particular author, Europe Ahmad Farmer, and we're going to have a nice active discussion about the book. It was very good. So if you don't have your copy, because we read this book already, but we're going to reread it for November, because it's sometimes November we talk about family and Thanksgiving and all different kinds of, family oriented things for Thanksgiving for November. So that's why I wanted to choose this book again, because it's about his family, real life story of Black people who were free, but they were triracial. They were indigenous, they were Black, and they were white. So this is a lot of information, and it's a good story. It's a story that was never taught, in schools. So this is a real life family. He did his researched his family, wrote a good book, and I definitely enjoyed it, and I'm definitely willing to read it again, just so that I can refresh my memory on some of the character, not his family, but characters to me, but his family, so that I can ask pertinent questions during our discussion. So I hope that you will join us in November for this, okay? So I will see you soon. All right, and as always, happy reading.